Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another broadcast here for Fast Break, live for IE Sports Radio, your read for all in sports, and you're welcome to join us on tonight's show. I'm riding solo. Won't be a long show. Locke is out sick. Hope you get well, brother. On tonight's show, I'll discuss the halfway point of the NBA season, what to look for in the second half after the All-Star break, who should be getting better, who are contenders, who should be balling out for the NBA draft. Plus, I don't really go live last week, but I want to talk about Patrick Dumont's comments about Luka. What really was going on in Dallas that they traded their franchise player to the Lakers. Also, how about Luka's debut against the Jazz, how he looked, and what he can improve on. Plus, in the world of college basketball, Alabama and Auburn went head-to-head in an iron ball matchup with Auburn coming out on top. I'll give my thoughts on that game as well. And talk about the dunk contest a little bit with Matt McClung winning. But this is Fast Break here, live for IE Sports Radio, your feed for all sports. And we'll catch you on the other side of these few short messages.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back here live for IE Sports Radio. You're referring fast my words right. I'm sorry. Welcome back. This is Davidson Crooks of Fast Break for IE Sports Radio. You're the referee for all sports. I get my words right. I know it took off last week, but we're all good in the hood. D-Locke's not with us tonight. He's out sick. Hope you get back well, brother. We'll see you next week. But before we get rolling, ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk to y'all about our newest sponsor here at IE Sports Radio, Raw Nutrition Supplements. Go to getrawnutrition.com. Use the promo code IESR for 10% off. Still in the new year, a lot of y'all trying to get right, get your body right, all that stuff. Don't go the cheap route. Don't do no Monjero. Don't do Ozempic, Wegovy. Do it the right way. So go to Get Raw Nutrition. Use the promo code IESR for 10% off. Get your body right. Don't do the cheating way. Do the right way, the old-fashioned way. Lift weights, drink water, count the sugars, carbs, all that stuff. Do the right way. So go to getrawnutrition.com. Great site right there by those people there. Also, if you ain't following us already on Twitter /X, Fastbreak IESR right there. Right there. Fastbreak IESR. Do follow IE Sports Radio on all your social media feeds right there as the ticker goes right across right through there. You see our link right there at Fast Break as well on that front. All right. Now, last week, I know we didn't talk because it's the Super Bowl. All the, talk about everybody engaging in the Super Bowl and you don't hear too much basketball talk at all. So last week, Super Bowl, kind of like a tradition here on Fast Break. And I know a lot of trades happened to trade deadline that we didn't get to because my birthday this last Friday on the 7th, D-Log, his schedule too. We just couldn't make it work to do it like a trade deadline special for y'all, for the people on that front. But before I dive into those trades that happened afterwards, we're here at All-Star Weekend. The 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend. We're here. We're at the halfway point in the quote of the season. Right now, I'm looking at my TV screen. They introducing the players right now. Watching on Max. So it seems like we're going to have a very good showing right now, here in a little bit. I'll pop in and out, see how the game looks, all that stuff, trying to give live feedback here and there. We'll see how things look going to the weekend. But when we do the show, we talk about the halfway point in the NBA season, the All-Star break and all that stuff. And I was going to give a few thoughts on that real quick. We're here in the halfway break of the NBA season. Now, if you come to tell us that Cleveland will be one of the top teams in the East, not in the East, but the NBA, you won't get too much pushback. But you say top team in the NBA, it's like, well, you're saying a lot there. But Cleveland, they're 44-10. OKC 44-10. You didn't really expect that coming into the season. Like, these two teams only have 10 losses going to the All-Star break. You wouldn't. And Boston being Boston, Memphis, a team that kind of just went on the wayside last year, they kind of rebounded and found themselves again this year. They're back in second in the West. So, to stay on the top two teams, we talked about last year, like the growth for OKC, the young guys, Chet Holmgren didn't play last year, but, the year before, his rookie year, but, getting his leg on him last year. This year, I know he missed some time, but still getting legs on him. Getting Isaiah Hartenstein from the Knicks, you need that extra big. But I think the one thing for them, even with the big guys out, in and out in the lineup most of the year, the main core for the most part, SGA, Jalen Williams, those guys, Lou Dort, kind of held the fort down while those big guys are out. And they done a phenomenal job. SGA, in my whole opinion, is the front runner for MVP. Barring injury and something like that, Jokic, I think he's number 2 right now in my ladder. But SGA, he's the front runner right now. Some people probably put Tatum there, and understandable. But I just think SGA's been more consistent. His play been more consistent. Only thing I always harp on Jason Tatum is the shooting percentage. He takes a lot of shots to get to his point averages, and I think his efficiency's got to be a lot better, in my humble opinion. It's just my humble opinion. His shot efficiency's got to be better if he's going to be right here. Up here with me. He's there, but it's just like, can you be more efficient to kind of get here to the MVP level? So SGA, OKC, if they keep this up, keep it about like 6 or 7 games or so, stay on top of the West, I think he gets the MVP hands down. I don't think it's like a runaway, but he'll get the MVP hands down, in my humble opinion. Other things, if you just kind of look around the league, I look at teams that, speaking of injuries, that had injuries but kept afloat. Like the Orlando Magic, for example, D-Locke's team. Losing Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner at different points of the season, that team was able to stay in the hunt. I'm looking at it right now, they are 7th in the East. At one point, they were still in 4th and whatnot with those 2 guys out. Right now, they behind Detroit Pistons. I'll talk about more about them in a second. But talking about Orlando, they kind of stayed afloat when those 2 star players, 2 star guys are out. Now those 2 star guys are back in, at this halfway point. Now, can you get back to the push that where y'all were in the beginning of the year, in the top 4 of the East? I think they can. I think they can. Granted, you got Indiana, Milwaukee, and New York there in a way, in Detroit, but I think they can get there, in my humble opinion. Now, only thing I think will kind of hurt Orlando on this progression to get back to the top 4, guard play. And what D-Lock always has said about his Orlando Magic, you can eat on the Orlando Magic guards. And I think that if the guard play can get better for Orlando, I think it'll go a long way for that team to make a push past the first round into the next round, the following round, the upcoming playoff run. But I love Orlando. Always got respect for them. Yeah, I think the team, we got to keep an eye on in the second half of the year. Now, stay in the East still. A lot of talking the East. The Detroit Pistons. Yes, that Detroit Pistons. A team that had like a 20-plus game losing streak last year. That Detroit Pistons. They are 6 in the East right now, ladies and gentlemen. 6. Kate Cunningham's an all-star. This team, a team that, we did not expect to make the playoffs. And I know we didn't do our season preview series, but I think they were being improved, but we didn't see them going 29-26 at the halfway point. And it's great, that Detroit is back in the running like this. Kate Cunningham leading the way, averaging 25 points per game, 6 rebounds, 9 assists for Kate Cunningham. Jaden Ivey, 17 assists for him. 17 points for him. Malik Beasley. I know Laker fans ain't too fond of that name, but he's shooting the ball very well this year. Breaking the 3-point shot in the season for Detroit. He's averaging 16 points per game. Jalen Duren averaging a double-double, 10 and 10. So this team that I don't say a lot of people count out, but with Big Steph in the helm, kind of just turn the ship a little bit, and you kind of wonder, like, damn, Monty, what the hell did you do with that squad? You got to question Monty Williams, like, damn, dog, what do you do? What the hell did you do with that Detroit squad last year? Now, I know injuries happen and stuff like that, but you basically got the same roster. I'm granted you had, Tobias Harris and whatnot, but you basically got the same roster, and now this team is the 6th in the East. Now, can they hold, form, say where they at and move up? I don't know. Can these guys stay healthy? I don't know. But it's great to see Detroit back like this. It's great for those young guys' confidence. And that's the main thing. That didn't let the losing and stuff like that get to them. And what I mean by that losing mentality kind of stuck with them. And what we're talking about right now in the halfway point of the season, the All-Star break, they're in the bottom of the East. But now we're talking playoff contention with the Detroit Pistons. Not bottom, not looking for another top 5 pick, whatever. Now we're talking playoffs. Same trajectory like OKC. Playoffs. So it's great to see Detroit on the winning side of things. I like this squad. Added Dennis Schroeder at the trade deadline. Get some veteran help there in the guard spot. So everything's looking great right now for Detroit and all that good stuff. Now, before the All-Star game kicks off, LeBron is out of the All-Star game, out with, I think it was a leg injury, whatever. So he's out. Will that affect, the squad that he is with Charles Barkley? Who knows? I mean, it's not really in the world. Pulling up the All-Star squads right now. See what they look like. Let's see. Pulling it up right now. Okay. Actually, he's not with. He's actually with Shaq's team. Excuse me. So, well, LeBron out. You get more playing time for Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Tatum, Durant, Lillard, James Harden, Jaylen Brown. So you get those guys more playing time. I don't think it'll affect things too much. Just kind of look at the teams real quick. Kenny's team got Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Kay Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. Not a bad squad. Chuck's team, he went more international. For the most part, got Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Victor Wembanyama, Pascal Siakam, Alfred Sengun, the center out of Houston, Karl Anthony Towns, and Donovan Mitchell. And then also you got the rookie team that will be led by Candace Parker. And that team consists of like Zach Edey, Dr. Kennett, Stephen Castle. I'm just going on top of my head real quick. I'm trying to think who else. But that's the kind of the gist of that crew right there. They'll be playing as well, and just waiting for the tip, whatnot. So trying to see who tips off who first. I don't know who's going to tip off first, but it's good. Should be interesting All-Star weekend. Round robin tournament should be pretty fun. We'll see how things shake out on that front. But LeBron being out, which if he would have played in this game, be like his 21st start, but not going to happen. So it kind of sucks to see that streak goes away. But things are meant to be broken, and we'll see. How his team responds in a way. But I thought before I go to break here, I thought about this. I think I mentioned to D-Lock a couple times over the years. When they're doing the East-West thing, and I think something similar to baseball, they should have adopted, in my humble opinion. I thought about this. So think about All-Star Weekend. When you play in the East and West, why not whoever comes out on top, that Eastern Conference, Western Conference team who make the NBA Finals, they get home court advantage. Why not? Why not, put some stakes on it? Why not if, say, for example, if they still have to do the East-West thing, if you got OKC, Cleveland in the finals, and the East wins, Cleveland love to have advantage over OKC. Now, I kind of wish it was still in the same old final format where they adopted in the 80s with do their part to the Celtics and Lakers, that 2-3-2. But who won an advantage over in Cleveland Game 7 against OKC? Vice versa. Going to OKC and that advantage right there in Oklahoma City. I always thought about, they should do some of that kind of raise the stakes and raise the gameplay of the All-Star Weekend, because we always talking about the past few years how these guys are just folding, come All-Star Weekend because they don't hurt themselves. Why not raise the stakes there? If you got LeBron James on your team, man, if the Lakers had a chance to make it to the finals, when he won't like to have that advantage, Steph, KD, if you're a Knicks fan, if your Knicks make the finals, well, you want that home court advantage all the way through? Just saying. But back to All-Star Weekend. It seems like they somewhat getting around. Seems like they got Kevin Hart out there with Clay Locke and Ernie Johnson just talking. And shout out to Clark Kellogg making the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. I know he's going in as a commentator, but damn, it's like one of those careers that you kind of wish to see to play through if the injuries didn't happen. So shout out to him. You know, let me get this in to making the Hall of Fame as well on that front. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard. Who else made the Hall of Fame? The 2008 Olympic squad, they made the All-Star game as well. Carmelo Anthony, Danny Crawford, referee, Billy Donovan, current head coach of the Chicago Bulls, who's probably going more in for his time at Florida. Dwight Howard, well-deserved as well. And a friend of mine, man, said Dwight Howard wasn't a Hall of Fame. I said, are you kidding me? One of the last greats, big man to be a dominant defensive force. That dude's a Hall of Famer. That dude's a Hall of Famer. And well-deserved Hall of Famer as well. An NBA champion, that too. That just put the cherry on top. Marquise Johnson, Buck Williams, Jennifer Aziz, Sue Bird, Sylvia Foles, well-deserved. Maya Moore, well-deserved. And Mickey Arison, owner of the Miami Heat as well. So, well-deserved list, very good list. Very excited to hear about speeches and whatnot on that side of things. When we get back, we'll talk about popping in and out with the All-Star game, you know, as that gets rolling. But I want to talk about comments that the Mavs organization is still kind of throwing mud at Luka on the way out the door. So I'll dive into all that on the other side of things. But this is Fast Break here live for High Sports Radio. You're the read for all sports. I'll catch you on the other side.
What's up, guys? If you're looking for the best coverage of all Northern California sports, including 49ers, Giants, Warriors, then check out the NorCal Sports Report with yours truly, Andre Fernandez, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all the sports. We have guests every single week talking 49ers, Giants, Warriors, Sharks, San Jose Earthquakes, and a whole lot more, plus 3C2A. You do not want to miss this show. So tune in Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Time to the NorCal Sports Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a fan of Minnesota sports? Do you love the Vikings and hate the Packers? Are you a fan of the Timberwolves, Twins, Wild, Lynx, St. Paul Saints? Here on the Bold North Breakdown, we'll talk about all of those professional teams as well as all the college teams in the area. That's your basketball teams, football, hockey, volleyball, men's and women's sports alike. We talk about them all. Here on the Bold North Breakdown. Join me, your host, Glenn Ritter, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central, to discuss all that is happening in the Minnesota sports scene here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back here for Fast Break here live on iSports Radio. You're the Fall is Sports, and thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Riding solo tonight, Locke is out, being sick, so hopefully he'll be back with us next week. But I gotta get up here and talk about this. I know we talked about this last week, but Luka made his debut against the Utah Jazz. Let's see, we can pull it up. I'm pulling it right now. But he made his debut against the Jazz on February the 10th. February the 10th. They beat the Jazz 132-113 in his debut. Didn't play much. JJ kind of staggered between him and LeBron's minutes. That they had some on sport time, but kind of staggered enough because, they both big forwards that handle the ball a lot. But in his debut, 14 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Looked pretty good. Shot 1 for 7 for 3-point land. But, after being out for a while with the calf injury, you need, to have him pushed to do too much. On that front, LeBron had 24 points in that matchup, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, but had 7 turnovers. But, overall, in his debut, looked pretty good. Looked pretty solid, kind of used a more quicker style with Anthony Davis. And Luka's kind of like more, I won't say slow-mo, kind of like, not like Kyle Anderson like, but, you kind of wish, the tempo would be fast, a little quicker and stuff like that. But overall, solid debut. They got the big win against the Jazz on that front of things. Now, they turn around a couple days later to go to Utah and get beat down by the Jazz. They lose 131-119 in that matchup. Stopping that winning streak they had. They didn't. All these guys didn't play their best. You had the debut of Alex Len in that game, in which Laker fans they're already on dude's neck already. I'll just say that, and you kind of wonder, damn, maybe that trade should went through for Mark Williams, maybe. But we'll see. This is a game. We'll see how it shakes out for Alex Len going down, this second half of the stretch, and see how he does. But not the world's best debut for him. In that front, and he played 21 minutes as well. His plus minus was -9. So, not the best game for the Lakers. Utah, you got 32 points out of Marketing, 21 out of Jordan Clarkson. No Colin Sexton in that game. Keontae George, 20 points, 10 rebounds. 10 assists for him and 7 rebounds for him, almost a triple-double for him. And that on the side of things. Walker Kessler, 6 blocks for him in that matchup against the Lakers as well. So, solid debut. Not so great on the encore against the Jazz. No pun intended in that front of things. Seem like things are finally going in the All-Star game right now. Seem like got Steph Curry making a beautiful rainbow. No, that's Tyler Hero, excuse me. Making a beautiful rainbow shot there. So you got Chuck Scott against Kenny squad right now. And Kenny got most of the young bucks right now. Towns making a 3-point shot. Making it 17-12. And they play all these games. Like, all these games are like mini games. So you playing up to a certain percentage. So they playing up to 40 points, all that stuff. We saw that with the young guys game Friday night. they play to game 40, and then you win that and go to the next round. It's the same recipe here on Sunday night as well. So kind of like two games right there for Luka and his debut with the Lakers on that front of things. And then Wednesday, coming off the All-Star break, they played the Charlotte Hornets, coincidentally. And as y'all know, they made a trade to Charlotte Hornets to send Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish to Charlotte for Mark Williams to get the big man in the center. Of course, that didn't happen because the Lakers, and this is what we didn't get a chance to talk about, trade deadline deals. The trade got rescinded because of Mark Williams's injury history that's being put out by the Lakers. Now, to who do we believe that who falsified what? I don't know. We're talking about Mark Williams that really has not played a full season, NBA season yet since he's been in the league. He's just came back for foot injury for the Hornets before getting traded. Played pretty decently for the most part. Now, as a Laker fan, I think they gave up too much. Yes, they did. Because if you looked, I think a month or so ago, the Hornets traded the other big man they had, Nick Richards, to the Suns for Josh Okogie and a second-round pick. And if I'm the Lakers, and I understand trying to find a big man and whatnot, but one thing I probably would have brought up to D-Locke, we'll be talking about here tonight. One thing I bring up to him, I'll probably here tonight, bring it to y'all tonight. Between the trades that you did at the deadline, Max Christie, Maxwell Lewis, and Dalton Connect were all traded. Now, granted, yes, some of y'all listening and saying like, "Well, Dalton Connect's still back to the team." And yes, I understand it. But initially, Dalton Connect, Maxwell Lewis, Max Christie, all the three young guys under 25 who played the wing position, gone. Gone. No outside shooting, no young guy on D like that. Three of those guys are gone. Two now trade deadline pass and whatnot. Two of those guys are gone. Max Christie playing very well for Dallas. Maxwell Lewis on the bench for Brooklyn. Dalton Connect got a lot of fine to stay in LA for a little bit longer. But I say this as a Laker fan, like, between those three guys, you go ship out three of those guys, and yes, you got the big thing in Luka, but you gonna trade all these other guys. And I like Dorian Smith, don't get me wrong, but he's 31 years old. Keep that in mind. The other three guys I mentioned, under 25, about 6-7 years younger than Finney Smith. And you kind of look what you're trying to do with the franchise moving forward with Luka. You need some guys to kind of grow with him. That's my point. I had a first round guy on Maxwell Lewis when he was coming out. And I kind of wish the Lakers would kind of develop him better. Because he was he could shoot, defend, all that stuff. Like, damn, he kind of plug and play. But he didn't get that chance. They still trying to work things with Cam Reddish and whatnot. And we kind of seen the story of Cam Reddish throughout the NBA. You see with the Trailblazers, Knicks, Hawks. Could be missing a team that he was on, but we kind of done this with Cam Reddish. Connect, hey, had his career high 37 points against the Jazz earlier this year. Can shoot the ball when he gets going. I kind of hate that he's been JJ Redick's whipping boy, but very athletic, get to the rim, can handle the ball. About to watch him here in All-Star Weekend here in a little bit. Whenever this first game gets done. So you got potential there with Dalton Connect. Max Christie. If y'all listen to this show, y'all watch this show. I've never understood the development of Max Christie. It feel like, everybody kind of like, yeah, let him play and stuff like that, let him develop. But it's just like, I always said this about Max Christie. He's one of those kids that should have stayed in school for at least a couple more years. And now you kind of see there, now he's kind of being a nice, fine young player. But it took a while to get there. But I'm thinking like, time he came out, and especially in the realm of college basketball where it's at right now, he could have used those couple years in Tom Izzo's system to be more fine-tuned to come out and be a solid basketball player in the NBA. But now, lucky you got Connect back. Now you got those, the other two guys are gone, unfortunately. And, we'll see how things shake out for Lakers down the second down the stretch. And shout out to the chat real quick. Shout out to Terry Rodriguez. How you doing tonight, sir? Shout out to Kel Henderson. Kel brought up, love the Luka trade for the Lakers. Does that make them legit contenders? I'll say this, Kel. I'll say this. Not right now. My thing is, I think Luke is still trying to get his leg back under him with the calf injury and whatnot. Now, by the end of this month, when they play the Mavericks, we'll see how he really is. How fully healthy he's really back when he play the Mavs. Because Anthony Davis is going to be playing, Daniel Gafford ain't going to be playing, Derek Lively may not be playing, and no big men right there to challenge him and stuff like that. Come when they play Dallas, that dude might pull for 75 against the Mavs. But to answer your question, Kel, a lot of things got break their way. Not yet. Now, I'll say this. Let me say this. Right now, the Lakers are 5th in the West. For them to get at least a good playoff deep run, and I kind of look at this the other day, they got to at least stay in the 4 and 5 range and hope the Clippers be their first round matchup in that 4 or 5 matchup, in that 4 or 5 spot. Now, why do I say that? I think you look in the first round. Okay, you got Denver at 3, you got Memphis at 2, you got OKC at 1. What team would you rather see in the first round if you're the Lakers? Do you want to see OKC in the first round? Hell no. Do you want to see Memphis in the first round? Yeah, you kind of wanted that a couple years ago when they were kind of young and spiraling out of control for a little bit. But now, not so much. You damn sure don't want to see Denver. And you trade away your best big man for Luka Doncic. Houston, Sagoon, those young guys, Yukata, you don't probably want to see that in the first round. But I think the Clippers would be your best bet because who to say that Kawhi Leonard be healthy time by then? Norman Powell, I'll say this about Norman Powell, should have been an all-star this year, in my humble opinion. Should have got that nod. And it kind of sucks that LeBron was like a late scratch and you can't put Norman Powell in his place in that game. It sucks, for him like that. But kind of look at it. Do you think Minnesota, Dallas, especially with Dallas with the injuries right now down low, they're gonna make a climb up the standings? Hell no. So what you guys. Plus, you got Sacramento and Golden State on the outside right now. So if you're a Laker fan, your best path to at least the Western Conference Finals, get the 4 or 5 matchup with the Clippers. And then whoever you see in the second round, you see in the second round. And just go from there. With Luka in tow, got like a scoring threat in games and stuff like that. Things that's going to suck, is the defensive effort. How good can you hide them on defense in situations? Now, you got some dogs on defense. Hopefully Vando stays healthy. Hopefully, Finney Smith stay healthy. Got Gabe Benson in the fold as well. Cam Reddish can give you some good spot minutes as well. So you got those guys there. But you're talking about the small forwards in the case. No big man. And like Tyron Rings brought up, you need a big man. And like I alluded to earlier about Alex Len, can he be that guy to help y'all, help the Lakers, and get spot minutes? I don't know. I got some other guys in mind, but some of y'all probably laugh at me. I'm not talking about Dwight Howard either. But Terry Rodriguez brought up, could they bring in Mo Bamba? There's a good possibility. Is Mo Bamba can be motivated to play though? That's my thing, Mo Bamba. Can he be motivated to play? Is my big question there. And then Terry also brought, Owsley may be equivalent of Taco Fall, is a less tall and a smidge younger. We'll see. But you got Taco Fall also like 7'3" as well. That's another thing you got to remember on that front. He's 7'3". So we'll see if Lynn stick around. Didn't he signed for that first apron part, so Lakers won't be taxed too much. But after his debut with the Jazz, we'll see how things shake out. The Hornets, they're big men depleted as well, and maybe have a stronger game against the Hornets come Wednesday. But to go back to Kel's question, do they make them legit contenders? In a sense, yeah. I mean, in a sense, yeah, because you got a franchise guy at 25 years old who just took his team to the finals this last year. So we'll see. And also depends how Rob Pelinka builds around them. In the coming years. And when Rob Pelinka can't do his job, then he get the snip out of here. So we'll see. But before take my last break, I'll talk about Alabama Auburn real quick and get out of here. I want to talk about Patrick Dumont's comments about Luka. And they were a doozy, to say the least. Let me pull it, but now this is what he said about Luka leaving, all that good stuff. All that good stuff back on February 9th. Now, he thanked Luka, all that good stuff, and all that jazz and stuff like that. And that's fine and cool. If he will stop there, thank Luka for his time with the Mavericks, thank you for taking to the finals last year, yada yada. That'll be cool and done. It'll be cool. Now, if you stop there, I mean, cool. But this is what you continue to say about the departure and all that. If you look at the greats in the league, the people that I grew up with, Jordan, Bird, I'm talking about Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, they work really hard every day with a singular focus to win. If you don't have that and it doesn't work, you shouldn't be part of the Dallas Mavericks. End quote. Now, it's funny he didn't put Dirk Nowitzki there, the greatest Dallas Maverick of all time. But to say those names, no problem. If you're a Laker fan, seeing Shaq's name, and we've been talking about Luka's condition and stuff like that. If you see Shaq's name along those guys, you got to get the dude side out like this. Like, Shaq, really? And don't take Shaq, great, one of the greatest centers of all time. But if you're a Lakers fan, you know how that went down in LA and Shaq and his weight issues and stuff like that. And you heard like every point of training camp, you always heard a story about Shaq, on during the offseason, he said, Shaq, he's going to work with the Marines. He's going to South Carolina. He's going to work with the Marines, do basic training, all that stuff in South Carolina. Oh, Shaq doing this. Shaq doing this and saying Shaq. Shaq coming in injured to training camp with said injury and working himself back into shape. But so y'all, we kind of wonder, like, yeah, he was that damn good. Shaq was, and I think that's the thing. If we saw with the tiff of him and Kobe, and we call him fat ass, like, hey, dude, damn, dude, if you, saying Shaq all year round for the most part, we be straight for the most part. We be dominant, way more dominant than we are. And I think there's always kind of like that riff with them, like, damn, dude, like Kobe with Shaq, like, I'm doing this, that, working my game, you fucking off, excuse my language, you fucking off doing this and that, all that good stuff. What the hell? Now I get Demont's, comment, like, wanting to win, all that stuff. But, we're talking the same vein of Luka staying in shape, all that good stuff, all that. Shaq is a name I won't put in there. Larry Bird, I heard some stories about him that he worked out and stuff like that, but he ain't no, I don't say gym rat, but and like Kobe, yes, we heard the stories about Kobe and stuff like that. The story, how Kobe, when they go on the road, he finds a gym to work on his stuff on that before games and stuff like that. He passed that along to Julius Randle. Julius Randle talked about that. The story they did with ESPN years ago. I read that, like, very informative story. How Kobe like pulled him to the side, hey, young fella, we're gonna get some shots in. I know you here in your family and here in Dallas and stuff like that, but we're gonna get some work in. And Julius Randle, to my knowledge, still does that to this day. Work on his game, taking that mindset with him. Jordan, one of the greatest ever. Can't question his work ethic, but it's like he's had this that Jordan is just like different, in a sense. I'm sure he worked out and stuff like that, but Jordan is just different. If you just heard the stories, like, he had like a pettiness to his game, like a revenge on his game, like a thing, like, you ain't gonna get one over me, motherfucker, not at all. Like the infamous story of Kevin Garnett and Isaiah Ryder. KG and Isaiah Ryder talked about it. Isaiah Ryder had a great game going against the Bulls when they played both for Minnesota. And rookie KG was talking mess to MJ. Isaiah was trying to tell Kevin, like, hey, man, chill out. Chill out. And Isaiah was trying to tell him, like, hey, he young blood. He know what he doing. And KG, being KG, as we know KG now, he said, talk your stuff, Isaiah. Talk your stuff. Do your thing, Isaiah. And then next you know, as they both tell it, Jordan just went on a damn tear. That so much so that Kevin Garnett said, it's like you, and some of y'all basketball players know, at one point you feel like you just on defense all the damn time. That's how it was. So much so that Jordan and Bulls just beat them down and beat them by double digits. And to the point that Jordan looked to the sideline and damn said, young blood, you got something else to say? And then Kevin Garnett said they was sitting on the bench like this. There's nothing to say. There's a towel over your head. There's nothing to say. That's Jordan and them. So for Patrick Dumont to say that about Luka, to say about, your franchise player at the door, a guy that God knows when he retires, that you probably had him in fences for a jersey retirement down the line. Not a great look. Also not a great look. You saying this up about Luka. He's off in the Laker land. Your other prize, your acquisition from the Lakers, Anthony Davis out with injury. Daniel Gafford's out. Derek Lively out. Your big men are done for right now, for the better part of the second half of the year. You're 7th in the standings. It's not looking great for Dallas right now. Now, they still got Kyrie, still got Clay, guys like PJ in the fold. So, that I think they can stay afloat. But, we'll see. Phoenix is number 11. We'll see if they make a run up to the standings. Golden State, they added Jimmy Butler to the fold. I think they can make a little run there, make a little general rush there. Then, you got Minnesota hanging around that 8th spot as well. We'll see, how things go for them. I think they should have made a move at the deadline, my humble opinion, but that's never here or there. And you got Sacramento. They still kind of hanging that playing spot. They made some moves at the deadline, so we'll, Zach LaVine joins with Valanciunas, so we see how things turn around for them in the second half of the year as well. But for Dallas, it's not great right now. Darryl Armstrong, from what I read today, this guy arrested for assault and battery with a deadly weapon. So you got Nico Harrison's comments, Patrick Dumont's comments on Luka, both of those guys. Anthony Davis out. Your assistant coach, sitting in jail right now. Probably won't get out till Tuesday the earliest because the holidays, tomorrow. So they're not looking good for Dallas right now. They're really not. But we'll see how things shake out for them in the second half of the year. I think you're going to see some scoring explosion for Kyrie. Hopefully, Max Creasy played very well as well and trying to improve his stock and whatnot and make himself a name with the Dallas Mavericks organization. But I'm going to take my last break on the other side of things. See here, I'll talk about them playing against Auburn this past Saturday. But this is Fast Break here live for iSports Radio. Your directory for all in sports, and I'll catch you on the other side.
What's up, Wisconsin sports fans? I'm Dan, diehard Baholic, host of the Wisconsin Whistle. Check us out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We're talking Green Bay Packers, Milwaukee Brewers, Milwaukee Bucks, Marquette basketball, Wisconsin football and basketball, and all Wisconsin sports. Don't miss us each week, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, IE Sports Radio family and other sports families. My name is Alden K, and I want to welcome you to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you're a fan of the Valley and the Grand Canyon State like me, then I've got the show for you. Tune in every week, where I will update you and give you the latest news for the Arizona Cardinals, Phoenix Suns, Arizona Diamondbacks, ASU Sun Devils, U of A Wildcats, GCU Antelope, and of course, the NAU Lumberjacks. Again, if you're a Valley sports fan and like all that is desert sports like me, tune in every week here on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll see you then.
And welcome back to here for Fast Break here live for IE Sports Radio. You're the read for all your sports. Thank you for tuning in here tonight. Here the All-Star break. I'm your host for tonight, Crooks Process, Spawn 4288. My name is Davidson Crooks. I know that I said a lot right there. Our brother, one half of the show, Locke, he's out sick tonight. Hopefully he'll be back with us next week. But right now, going back to kind of talk about the All-Star break before talking about Bama and Auburn, they're doing some challenge, I guess, with this dude named Mr. Beast. Now, y'all don't know who Mr. Beast is. He's some YouTube dude that I guess is like in a sense like a human version of the Squid Games. Like he make you do strange shit for money and all that good stuff. And it's kind of just funny that, you know, they have him there with all the allegations and stuff like that, all that stuff going on with him. But, you know, neither here or there, you know, we're trying to keep it basketball for the most part. But, you know, we say so like that, you know, hey, you get on the All-Star weekend with all the mascots and some kid in glasses and dollar bills and whatnot. But anyways, I'll shut the hell up there. But I would need to talk about this before I get out of here. Iron Bowl, but on the basketball court, you had number one, number two, Auburn number one, Bama number two, head to head down in Tuscaloosa with Auburn. Well, those dirty fools down south, down near Auburn, near Montgomery. And they beat Alabama 94-85. It made me sick to type that, but I got to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. First off, you had the game day crew down there for ESPN, and you knew coming to this game that this is like, you know, I guess seeding in the sense, not just for the SEC tournament, but also NCAA tournament. Because this team right here, I got this lovely poster from last month when they played Ole Miss. They It's like one of those games that, okay, come tournament time, can you get the number one seed in the South, or you be number one seed out west? And I give credit to Auburn. I hate doing that, but out the gate they play tough. Out the gate they got out strong. Out the gate, they play tough inside. And out the gate, it seemed like to me that Bruce Pearl and company must have watched that Ole Miss tape with Ole Miss did to Alabama. And I wouldn't say copy and paste it, but to a point that they made Alabama shoot 5 for 26 for 3-point land. Mark Sears 2 for 11 for 3-point land. Chris Youngblood 1 for 3. Deron Stevenson 1 for 3. Even Clifford shot a 3. He was off 1. Grant Nelson 0 for 1. Aiden Hallway 1 for 4 for 3-point land. So not a great shooting night for the Tide. You felt early that okay, Auburn had a lead from the jump and they didn't let it go. Now Alabama second half got back into a couple threes, whatnot, tie the game back up. But then, you got to give credit to Auburn, especially Baker Mazzara. He had a couple clutch threes, in my opinion, to kind of slow down the Tide's momentum. And then, Broom started working him inside. Denver Jones had a good, strong game as well. And you kind of just stop the fires before Alabama could get light up. So it's a great win for Auburn. It pains me to say that, but right now they looking like the best team in the country. They are. They look very good, very solid. They went to Tuscaloosa, and beat the Tide down for the most part. Now, can Alabama turn around 3 weeks from now and get that lick back? Sure. But they got to figure some things out. And one thing I think Alabama got to do is, speaking as an Alabama fan, the big lineup of Grant Nelson, Clifford, and Jaron Davidson, got to nix it. And I thought about this. Maybe you put Mohamed Diabate, excuse me. I get his name mixed up. But you put Mohamed Diabate in that start. Maybe next time you play him in that starting lineup and put him against Broom and see how that affects him. See how that goes. I know you kind of lose the shooting in that part, but I think defensively, it'll do a world better to switch down low and whatnot, and how versatile he can switch against those guys. I mean, yeah, he maybe give a little size to Broom and whatnot, but I mean, they're like a couple inches taller than each other. So, it shouldn't be no big deal, especially in the world of college basketball, in my humble opinion. But Auburn wins big, against Alabama. Just looking at that schedule real quick. They got Arkansas at home on Wednesday. Tough matchup, but I think they should win that one. Then they got Saturday against Georgia at home. Georgia kind of been on the backslide, so they should be able to get them at home. And then the following Wednesday on the 26th, you get a tough Ole Miss squad at home. Like I said, Ole Miss came in, beat down Alabama. Can they come in Auburn's home and beat them? Tough to say in that front. And then you look at the Tide schedule for the rest of the month here. They play at Missouri on the 19th. Mizzou has, you're going to get their best. So that should be a good matchup come Wednesday. Then they get Kentucky at home on the 22nd. To Kentucky, kind of been on the I don't say backslide, but they've been kind of taking some L's here lately. Lost to Texas, who Alabama just beat down not too long ago in a dominating fashion. You know, they beat Tennessee, but it seems like Kentucky's just not as strong as they should be. They finish out the month against Oklahoma, going back to Bama. They play against Mississippi State at home on that Tuesday. You know, they ain't too far from each other, so they got a late tip right there. So for Bama, you know, if you can beat those 3 teams in a row, I think you still kind of there in that talk on the number 1 overall seed. You know, at the end of the year, I mean, it's tough at the end of the year though. In March, Tennessee, Florida, and Auburn, and 2 of those on the road. 2 of those gonna get your arch rivals. So if you're Nate Oates and company, you know, you gotta figure some things out. You know, you gotta find that perfect starting lineup. I think that's the main thing that Nate Oates got to figure it out. What's that sweet spot of a starting lineup? You know, going to this home stretch of conference play. You know, do you stay with the big guys? You know, the big front court. Do you put LeBron Fillon in? Do you do my suggestion of doing Muhammad in the starting lineup? You know, taking Stevenson out, put Muhammad there. So there's a lot of things you know if you're Oates, and we'll see come Wednesday what he does with that starting lineup going against Missouri. But back to Auburn, big win for them. I think, you know, I could say a lot of things about Auburn, but one thing, you know, they're doing great at is just winning basketball games. And you can't really take that away from them. Now, the best team in the country, yeah, I think so. Duke, they're very good, but also very young as well. Not a bad thing, but still very young. Florida, very good team. Tennessee, very good. Houston, very good. Had a big win this past Saturday against Arizona. So, also, the team you got to keep an eye on, St. John's. Rick Pitino, you know, getting his legs under him, being Pitino, getting those guys playing well. So watch out for Rutgers coming down the stretch here in this college basketball season. But also, before I get out of here, I do want to talk about the USC women's and UCLA matchup that I did watch. Well, I caught late because I forgot it was on Peacock. But pull that up. I keep on forgetting it. Big Ten too. Back on Thursday's matchup, you had USC win 71-60 against the Bruins. And I tweeted on this on our show account right here. I tweeted that Juju had a great game. 38 points for her. 38 points for Juju Watkins. But it'd be nice if the other ladies kind of show up. Let me put that up. You know, it'd be great if the other girls show up, but, you know, sometimes you star players can stop to take over. Now, you see the stat line, you know, she had 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 8 blocks. Now, I will say this. Those 8 blocks came against Lauren Betts down the stretch. Now, did I think Juju Watkins connected on all 8 blocks on Lauren Betts? Hell no. Hell no. No. I like Juju, but it's kind of going back and just looking inside and stuff like that and replay. A couple of blocks should have been fouls. She whacked Lauren Betts over her arm. And I know they're playing at home. You got the home cooking and stuff like that. But a couple of those blocks should have been called for fouls, in my humble opinion. Now, for UCLA, on the UCLA side of things, for the Lady Bruins, your first loss of the year. I think to have a loss here, I mean, you don't want to lose, but I think, it's good to take a loss here against your arch rival. Now, how did the Lady Bruins, how do they bounce back from this? It's, anybody's guess, but right now they're playing against Michigan State at home. It's 21-12 for the Lady Bruins. Looking it up right now. And I don't see Betts playing right now. I saw, is she hurt? Let me pull that up real quick. Pulling it up real quick. Yeah, so Lauren Betts is out with a right foot injury for the Bruins. So right now, 21-14 for UCLA. UCLA against Michigan State. No Lauren Betts for the Bruins. So we'll see how that's going to take form for the Lady Bruins. And also today's action, USC went up to Washington to play against the Huskies. Juju had 17 points in that matchup. 19 points for Kiki Efarian. So gets a nice scoring right there for the Lady Bruins. But back to the big time matchup. Like I said, great scoring display by Juju. Like I said, did she get some good non-calls down the stretch? Yeah, she did. She did. But like I said, the home cooking and stuff like that. Usually wins big, and all that good stuff. So, and UCLA couldn't do nothing down the stretch, scoring wise and all that. And momentum of all USC, all that stuff on that side of things. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with me tonight. Like I said, hope D-Lock be back with us tonight. Tomorrow, next week, excuse me. The All-Star game still going on. Right now, it seems like the young Bucks and the young guys and the old crew are about to go at it. So join me on Twitter right here. Just to follow along on my tweets along for that as well. Also, Cleveland is getting a WNBA team again. I'm not a fan of it. I think, he could have went to other places, in my humble opinion. But Cleveland will be back as the Cleveland Rockers. So another WNBA team back in the fold. And I think it's be more deeper discussion with D-Lock. Like, with all the push with getting these teams out of the WNBA, can these teams survive more than a few years? But we saw this big boom before in the WNBA, and a lot of these teams, like we've been mentioning, Portland, Cleveland, and others, they didn't last long. Or they get brought in, but they be defunct and moved to other cities and all that stuff. So we'll see how things shake out for Cleveland and whatnot. We'll see. But it's great for these young ladies and stuff like that. That more teams joining the league, and more of these girls can have more extended their careers in the WNBA instead of flaming out in a couple of years or whatnot. So, Golden State, Portland, Toronto, getting added to the fold. Now Cleveland, the Nashville group trying to do something, but we'll see how things shake out. But follow us here on Twitter /X, like Fastback Guy ASR. Do follow D-Lock on Twitter at Black-813 and Black-813, also on Instagram as well. Do follow me on Twitter /X at Spawn4288, that's Spawn4288 as well. Do follow IE Sports Radio on all your social media feeds as you see the thing going through right now. Go to iSportsRadio.com for all your latest shows, news, feeds as well. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that. Give us a follow on there. Trying to build the followers up. And all that good jazz. Do follow me on my other channel, The Crooks Process, on Instagram and Facebook. On there as well. I know I done podcasts in a very long time, and I need to get one up as soon as possible. But we'll see how life goes and all that good stuff. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about the ramifications of All-Star Weekend, the season going forward, and all that good stuff. So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.